Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Amazingly Uncanny Podcast, issue number 13, The Triumphant Return of Our Heroes. You got myself, Alex, I'm here today. We got Madrid.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back.
And we got Jesse.
What's going on?
First of all, let's get the elephant in the room. We are back after a nice little hiatus, bringing back the podcast. This issue, this episode is going to be a little bit different. We're working on some things with the format of the show, try to get it a little more entertaining, a little more upbeat, all that kind of stuff. So this will be kind of a special episode where we're transitioning between that. So today we're going to talk about a couple different comics, really just two. We're going to talk about the Star Wars issue number 1, printing by Marvel, and then we'll jump into Superman 38 to talk about Superman's new powers. So which do you guys want to talk about first?
Star Wars.
Let's get it out the way.
Alright. So this was Marvel has acquiring Star Wars. Disney since acquiring Star Wars basically gave it over to Marvel. Marvel now has the printing rights to the comic books. This is their starting of a new line. There'll also be Darth Vader is getting his own comic, as well as Princess Leia and probably some other characters as well. This is the main issue, Star Wars coming out. It basically takes place between the first and second movies, and I don't know how long it's gonna go. What did you guys think?
Well, I'm gonna start off first. If I need a nap, I'm gonna read this issue again. It stayed true to like the storylines of how it is. I get that, but it was just boring as hell to me. The only thing that I got good out of it was the fact that they are doing Vader 1 this month, right. And in the back, after the comic, you get a sneak peek at the Spider-Gwen that they're going to be starting this month, too. So those are like the only two things that I liked about this comic.
Well, that sounds fucking whack. I would say, I think I like it. I like where it's going. I like where it can be. And it's a good starting point because it did have a little feel from the actual old school vibe. And just like, hey, we're back. The heroes in the same position.
I definitely thought the nostalgia factor was huge in it. Because, like, especially when you first open it up, because you get past the first page and it's that, a long, long time ago in a Galaxy Far Away. And then you pass the first page and there's just that giant Star Wars. And you can almost, like, when I was reading it, I could hear it I could hear the music in my head. That fucking, that Star Wars music that starts in every movie. And then you get the crawl on the next page. Which I thought that was awesome. I just thought the nostalgia factor was really there, And especially when I was reading, especially when he gets into, like, where Darth Vader shows up and he's got that procession of stormtroopers. Like, I can hear the fucking Imperial March, you know what I mean? Like, as I'm reading it, I just had all these kind of nostalgia factors of the music and the feelings of Star Wars. And then, especially with, like, the way that all the characters, I thought, interacted with each other, definitely the writer knows Star Wars and he knows how all these characters interact with each other. Whether it's Han Solo, arguing with R2, or not R2, but with C-3PO to, get the Millennium Falcon working and stuff like that, and the relationship between Han and Leia. Like, I thought it was just really well-rounded in how they interact with each other.
I liked the fact how they brought in Chewie, how he was actually like, hey, dude, I'm still a badass, because, everybody always gets that weird perception that he's, like, half retarded. Yeah. He's just kind of there. But it's still
takes on Darth Vader in it.
Yeah.
Like,
he's just shooting out fucking Darth Vader and all the stormtroopers getting their asses kicked left and right, and just Darth Vader being an asshole. Fuck you, it's all about me. Yeah. Which, I get it, but it's just a simple fact, Chewie's his own man now.
Yeah.
It's a total different life breed that we've never seen.
Yeah, and I liked in the one panel he basically picks up 2 stormtroopers and puts them in the way of Chewie's fire.
No, he starts picking them up. Yeah, like I said, for me it was boring, but like they are like some of this shit was pretty cool, but overall I was like, fuck it. Yeah. Maybe see what issue 2 and 3 brings.
Yeah.
I think this is a good jumping point. Hope the momentum's there.
I thought it was an odd place to start, given that it's in between 2 and 3. In between episodes 1 and 2, or 3 and 4, however you want to categorize them. But basically in between A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back. I thought that was a weird place to kind of put it. As far as, because, like, there's only so much you can really tell in between those 2 movies, you know what I mean? Like, going forward. I thought kind of after episode 6 would have been kind of a better place, because then there's a lot more story you can tell about what happens, but obviously you wouldn't have Darth Vader, so,
Well, I think what's really cool is just is what we're seeing in pop culture collectively as time goes. There's more of a detailed lining that they're putting in everything, being more creative, really just pushing that envelope constantly. And I think that's something that they probably could do here, especially with the powers and how it's really being projected right now. I think it might be something creating a longevity.
Yeah, and I think also with putting it there, with the placement in between, episode 4 and 5, that you really get to see Luke develop in his powers and stuff like that. You'll probably get to see him learning, his ways and stuff like that. Because he has, at the end of the issue, he goes face to face with Darth Vader. And then in issue 2, they kind of have a little battle and stuff like that. But it's not, but he's still developing his powers and stuff like that. So,
Still getting his ass kicked.
Well, even in his shit, you can see that he really doesn't believe himself yet.
Right.
Actually, how they wrote it up, this and that. Which is, alright, you know what I mean? I could dig it.
Yeah.
Because you do see that naive, insecure kind of dude.
Yeah.
I'm optimistic to this whole venture.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good. And I think the writer has, like I said, has a really good grasp on the characters and has a really good idea of where they're going and stuff like that. And it's, there's no talk of Imperial Senates or... that's the thing that I like about it, is that it has that essence of the original Star Wars, where they're on basically, a moon, or they're on, at the outskirts of space. It doesn't have to do with the overall, Galactic Senate and the Empire and Trade Federation and shit. It's original Star Wars, and I thought that was pretty cool. So, any other thoughts on this?
Wait for issue 2, see how it goes.
All right.
Pussy.
All right. So then, the next comic that we're talking about this week is Superman 38. This takes place in between. Well, it's an issue. It's basically issue 5, I believe, of the run with Jeff Johns and his new artist John Romita Jr., who's obviously not a new artist. He's been around time, but he's new to Superman. And it comes in between a storyline in which there's basically a Superman from Earth that goes into another dimension. He's shipped off the same way kind of Superman was, and eventually comes back to Earth, and tries to fix it for the most part. But part of his plan that we don't really realize until last issue and this issue is that he's basically trying to save his planet by using the life force of people from Earth to recharge his planet. Because Ulysses' power comes from siphoning off the powers of his Earth, basically his molten core, and he also has the ability to kind of sort of steal Superman's powers as well. So the main reason we're talking about this issue is because it deals with Superman gaining a new power, and that power is the solar flare, as they're calling it, which basically, as Superman and Ulysses is fighting, Superman uses his heat vision, and it basically explodes. Every cell in his body that holds solar energy basically explodes into a solar flare and devastates everything in sight and completely depletes him. You guys in favor of the new power? What'd you think of it?
First off, I think it's a ripoff from Dragon Ball Z. Mm-hmm. But I liked it, actually. I like the fact that he can use this, and even though right now it shows like he can't control it, but then afterwards he's fucking drained, so it's like being a human. So now it's like, well, what is he going to do for a 24-hour, 32-hour period, whatever he's drained?
See, that was the weird thing. I thought it felt very much like a video game power, where it's like it has, like you have to wait to use it again.
You got power up.
It's like, yeah, there's a fucking cooldown period where you have to like, I can use that later, I guess. But you have to like blast your whole wad and then fucking...
Sounds like a cheap porn.
Yeah.
I'll be out for a week, guys.
And then you're done for a day.
No, this did nothing for me.
No, you don't like the new power?
No, like the power, I'm just like, okay, cool. No, it just doesn't really do anything for me. The whole thing, like his struggle that he has, Batman coming in, saving his ass, and it's just like, yeah, hold on, buddy, you're going to take 1 to 2 days to get everything revamped because you need your sales charge. I'm just like, I don't really get it, the momentum, you know what I mean? With all the awesomeness that he already has, let's just do this, and it's going to make him cool, but he's going to make him vulnerable too. I really don't get that. And then,
well, I think in time the cooldown period for his power will probably get less and less, because it is like the way Jeff Johns explained it is that it basically comes out of his ability to use his heat vision. Basically, his heat vision was his cells projecting sunlight or whatever the hell you want to call it into his enemies or whatever. So it comes out of that kind of power, which I thought was cool because he made it very organic. That like it's just an extension of a power they already had, rather than like giving him freeze breath or what, you know what I mean? Because like something that's totally off in a third, off the charts. He made it concurrent with his powers that he had already.
Nope.
No,
Not a fan. I just think this whole 38 was horrible.
yeah.
Hey, Jimmy, I got a secret to show you. Here's
Oh,
the
yeah.
dick!
Yeah, that's another thing. It's like, if you want to find out a superhero's identity, just throw $1 billion at people. Hey, here you go. This is who I am.
You think that's going to the issue? Do you think that's why? Because basically, what he's talking about is that at the end of the comic, Jimmy Olsen has given his billions of dollars that he's acquired from his parents through their chicanery to the victims who were gonna go to the other planet and get absorbed. So, do you think that Superman basically saw that goodness in him, that he was the one to give away all of his money, and that's why you told him to do Superman? Or
Like, yeah, I think that's why it's just like, hey, you trust me with this knowledge. No one's gonna know that you did this for them.
Right.
So I'm gonna trust you because you put that trust in me as Clark Kent.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's just like, it's sort of to show like, hey, money rules all.
Yeah. Yeah.
You could be bought.
Yeah, you could be bought pretty much.
But he didn't buy Superman. He bought
His trust.
his goodwill.
Yeah, but at the same
But
time,
that wasn't his intention to begin with.
How do we know?
Because he didn't know he was Superman.
What if he had a hunch?
You're taking something that's completely out of the book. There's no indication in the book that he knew he was Superman.
I will say the coolest part about it is that he bought hot dogs for him and Clark. So that was pretty cool.
Wieners always get you excited.
Yeah, duh, especially when they're in the bun. Put 2 in a bun.
But no, even just that, as I said, man, it did nothing for me.
Fair enough. Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, I'm
Apparently not for
not.
Buddy neither.
I'm not too keen on him getting new powers or whatever. When it comes to Superman, I mean, what more powers do you really need? I mean, there's not. He's basically the strongest man on
Yeah,
earth.
it's like
He's
adding a
fucking-
cherry on top of the cherry that's already there.
Yeah, but so I mean, like I said, there's things that I like about it. The fact that it it kind of came up organically and stuff like that. I don't like the cooldown period. There are other things that I don't like about it, but I thought it was kind of interesting. I have enjoyed this run, the Jeff Johns run on Superman, for the most part. I go back and forth on John Romita Jr. Sometimes he does really great work, and then sometimes it looks really cartoony. But
Yeah. Batman didn't look also good on this.
oh god, he looked horrible. He looked absolutely horrible, especially his fucking legs are all spread. It's horrible.
Maybe he got a bad horse, bro.
But yeah,
The fight scene sucked too.
I don't know the fight. Some
like
of the
the
fight,
eye beam
especially
part.
this first one, like that picture, the very first picture where fucking Superman's taking the chest. I like that one.
Nope.
No,
I like that. No. That's all I got.
That's all I got.
No.
fair enough.
Sorry.
Who's the bitch now, Jess?
Apparently me this round.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, when it comes to John Romita Jr., like there's certain panels that I really like, especially in Avengers versus X-Men. Like, there's some panels that are just absolutely breathtaking.
Yeah.
And then there's others that look like my niece drew it. Like, it's just
Maybe these guys' talent, bro.
good. But yeah. But overall, I guess we've given pretty much our opinions. So, next up, we're pretty much just going to do the news for this week. And since we've been gone for a long time, there is, of course, a lot of news. We're not going to cover all of it, of course. Most of what we're going to talk about is the myriad of trailers that have come out recently. Before the podcast, we spent a lot of time looking at them, watching the new trailers while stuff come out. That's coming out. What were some of your guys' favorites that we watched?
You know what? I'm liking, even though it didn't give too much detail, I'm liking the Daredevil trailer with Netflix for that series that's coming out in April. It just gives you that little hint. I think the guy who's playing Matt Murdock looks pretty dope. This is look in general as a person. So I'm waiting for that one.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park.
Well, let's stick on Daredevil for a
Okay.
second. I thought the Daredevil trailer was really good. I think they're going back, especially with the costume, because they don't have them in the red tights or anything.
Yeah.
Especially with the costume and stuff, it looks like they're going to be pulling off of Frank Miller's run with the Man Without Fear, which was a really good run. Really, a lot of good issues in Daredevil. Especially, he takes it really, and the trailer looks really gritty, and dark and stuff like that, which I think is going to be good. It looks more like kind of a crime drama, in Hell's Kitchen and stuff like that. I thought that looks really cool, especially with the costume and stuff like that. That's definitely the original costume that Frank Miller had in that run. So I think that's really going to influence heavily, which is good news because that was an amazing run of Daredevil. You got any thoughts on it?
No, we'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all the issues will drop. I believe it's in April.
Man,
So all the issues will drop, so we'll be able to binge watch that and see how it goes. It's a good thing about Netflix. You just gotta binge watch it.
Take a few days off of work. Don't shower.
So next we're going to talk about was Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park. I'm liking it. Looks like it's gonna be a good revamp.
Yeah. Yeah, I absolutely fell in love with that trailer. I thought it was amazing, especially when they have that shark dangling over, and then the
whole SeaWorld theme shit.
SeaWorld comes out.
The new fucking Willy.
Eats them. Oh, it was
Or
awesome.
Shamu.
But just, the fact that the park is actually open and there's a lot of people who are probably going to get eaten is pretty fucking awesome to me.
Take that, Disneyland.
Yeah. Fuck your measles. No, but yeah, it looks really dope. I mean, of course, Chris Pratt is always amazing. It's Guardians of the Galaxy and Parks and Rec and stuff like that. He's a really good actor. I don't know. He looks a little weird in this trailer. Like I think he's trying to be too much. I don't know. He looks like he's acting a little bit to me in the trailers, but
Overacting it.
yeah.
I think he just looks really good. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
How
It's
good?
it's just that one scene where he looks up, he's like, depends on what they cooked up in the lab theirs or whatever. It's like, come on. But that could also do with writing and stuff too. So, but having Steven Spielberg back at the helm definitely helps, with the visuals and stuff like that. So, but yeah, it does look like it's going to be good, and yeah.
right on. I just want to know what kind of fucking parents send their kids off somewhere just by themselves. Just, here you go.
Take off, get lost.
I'm proud of you.
Bro, they're white. They send them boarding school and all that crap anyways.
Alex,
Go
were you
see
ever
some
sent
friends.
off?
He's Irish, I don't care.
No.
Would your mom send you off at any time in her life and be like, go ahead, I'm proud of you?
If like
It was to see
well, no, if it was
dinosaurs.
like me, basically, like if it was like me and
Get it,
if I had
gotcha.
like kids, brothers and sisters my age and stuff like that, and if we wanted to go to like Disneyland or Universal Studios and like they couldn't afford them going too and shit, yeah, they'd probably send me because I'm sure fucking Jurassic World tickets are pretty expensive.
Yeah.
You can't just get a soda can, take it in, get 10% off.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure it's gonna fucking blow Disney World out of the water. So if they couldn't, they'd probably send me, especially, or it could be a field trip. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, that's true.
So there could be a myriad of other things, but
We know for a fact your mom would send your ass.
My mom tells me to go get her a pack of cigarettes from the corner store and get lost.
Makes sense.
I'll see you in a week.
yeah, I think it's gonna be dope.
I'm looking forward to it. The visual effects are on point.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Steven Spielberg being back in that motherfucker. You know it's going to be some shit.
All right, next trailer.
Fast 7. Come on.
Let's talk about Fast 7. Though.
Yeah.
We're gonna be here
Jesse,
for an
I'm gonna
hour.
let you take the helm of this movie since it's your baby.
All right, let's go. Biggest thing that really steps out on the newest trailer that they had was Jason Statham fighting The Rock. Rock's throwing the punch. Everybody says The Rock is being that one big, huge alpha. And you just see Statham beating the shit out of him like he's a 2-year-old girl. I love that part. What do you guys think on that? Just the whole fight scene sequence that they have actually in that lobby or whatever they're in.
I love seeing Vin Diesel get his ass beat. I love him, but, fuck him. Fuck Toretto.
I don't know if you know, we weren't talking about that. We were talking about The Rock.
and
That's what I meant. Rock and Statham. Fuck him, too. Don't beat my ass.
All right, so I'm gonna go back to talking about The Rock and Jason Statham. Apparently, no. Honestly, I don't even remember that part in the trailer. But when you're talking about, I'm not paying all that attention. I fucking hate this movie. Anyway,
I hate Madrid, but I hang out with him.
So,
but basically, I don't know. The Rock is fucking huge, dude. And like, if it was an actual fight between them two, pretty sure The Rock would take it.
nah, fuck that.
I don't know.
Oh, he got the rock bottom?
What? Have you seen that dude? He's
Yeah, he's
fucking
big.
Huge.
Dave's a real martial artist. They
And
don't kick
he's
him in the
huge. How do you
dick
know
in the
that?
throat.
Because he kicked
I
his
watched
ass.
Transporter.
Oh yeah, you watched Transporter.
The series.
All three. In one night. No, he was like an Olympian. He's like...
He was an Olympian.
Yes, he was a swimmer. Statham.
Oh, a swimmer. He wasn't even a wrestler or anything like that. Or a swimmer?
That works out the core.
You know, he had that. He has like all
Unless he's fucking fighting The Rock in a laps challenge.
The Rock's going down, and you know that. His name's The Rock. But no, like, he has all these different martial arts. Even The Rock personally said he's fought with wrestlers, he's fought with UFC fighters.
Right.
But the biggest person that he was seriously, really felt like he was a competition and afraid of was Statham. Actually, just doing the choreography, he's like, that is not just an athlete, that is a brutal person who wants to fight.
Fair enough.
So I think that looks good. I think the story and, you know, the horrific tragedies that happen, you know, Paul Walker passing away and all that, how they're going to really do it and how they're going to get it out there in a nice, classy way. Which, you know, ultimately, you know, Paul Walker's going to sacrifice himself for the team and he's going to die, explosion or some shit.
Right.
I really want to see where that goes because what latest, let's say with like newer cinema, one has something like that happen and they brought the movie back. Well, that's just saying we got to scrap this.
Well, Philip Seymour Hoffman died and they finished it out in Mockingjay.
Yeah. We didn't know that was an action flick.
You wouldn't say that Mockingjay is an action flick?
I don't know. I really didn't care for him as an actor.
I didn't like the book all that much, but movies are pretty good. Anyway, what the hell were we talking about?
Furious,
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah.
7 or whatever.
Paul Walker passing.
Yeah, I was telling you guys that I kind of hope that in the middle of the movie they're just kind of like, oh well, he's gone. So
Let's go get tacos.
yeah, let's just move on with this movie, I guess.
Lenny didn't even remember who he was, so let's keep going.
She just dreamt them up with a concoction of her illusions.
Yeah, I think even the visual effects how they're over the top, some of the crazy shit.
Yeah.
I don't mind it.
Well, I mean, because for me, like, I was a fan of the original one. Kind of lost me around Tokyo Drift.
Yeah.
And I haven't really watched any since then. I mean, I've caught them, but they just kind of get a little bit more and more ridiculous as they go on. So I haven't really kept up with the Fast and Furious. The only things that I would really say is that the action does look good. You know, as far as the car stunts and stuff like that, and the visuals do look really good. The one thing that I did notice is that it basically has the same plot as Die Hard 3. Where it's like, you killed my brother, so I'm gonna come kill you. So like,
I think that's the Belly of the Beast,
That's true, or pretty much any other fucking.
I would think that's
movie.
just life.
Jesse,
Yeah.
you're my brother. If anyone killed you, I'd throw them a parade.
We know.
To assassinate them, bro.
Lies.
After I had some beers with them.
You know, this is one thing I've looked at in cinema where we've gotten to a lot of these effects and stuff like that. Cool, a lot of the story writing and stuff like that. It's starting to take a lot of that action in.
Yeah.
You know, we don't have the old school Rambos. We don't have any of that. Van Damme's, that masculine, huge testosterone. It's not here anymore, and I think they're bringing it to the writings, and I think this is the new age type.
It's the new Conan.
Yeah. And that's why I'm like, all right.
Fair enough. I just don't know how many. I mean, because it's the same movie every time. I don't know how you can keep making the same movie.
You drive fast, you drive furious, end credits, $1 billion again.
They are making a lot of fucking a lot of money.
They did do that. Sylvester Stallone does that constantly.
Oh, I'll grant you that, but it doesn't mean they're good.
You tell me the last Rocky Balboa wasn't good?
Yes, I will tell you that.
It was awesome.
That movie was horrible.
You need to
You're
be fired,
horrible.
sir.
It's not how hard you can get hit. It's how hard you can... Fuck, I fucked it up. But you know what I was saying.
You know what?
You
I think
can
Alex
get-
wins this one.
That's actually, I mean, that's the best line in the movie, but the whole movie is, I mean, it's just him coming out of retirement. I don't see Creed being any better, but
I think it will be because I
It's a
guarantee you
revamp.
he's going to
It'll
be...
be real good.
it's not a revamp. It's his grandson. Or
Yeah, it's
whatever.
grandson.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm revamping the franchise.
But I think
It'll
that's
be
something cool because now somebody who has the history can do something now. You know what I mean? And who knows? We don't know if his grandson's going to be like, it's your fault my grandfather was dead. You should have stepped in. So there's so many different ways that
Could
they can
be.
use it. And like this might be his way of saying, this is me playing it forward. Because you know this kid's going to be lost. He's going to have the skills. He's going to have the talent. He's going to be a dick. Nobody likes him. Or he's an up-and-coming dude trying to be something, and nobody can take him to that next level. Well, then let's bring in Rocky Balboa.
Yeah, that's true. I'll show him the footwork that his grandfather showed him or whatever.
When they were dancing in that LA club with all the men's.
Yeah. And they can go running on the beach together.
It reminded me of a scene
In the
of
short
Police
shorts.
Academy with the Blue Oysters or the Blue Oyster Club. You know, I mean, that's all it was. It was just revamped.
Maybe that's what they were gonna go for.
Maybe.
So for the time period, people weren't ready.
For sure. But hugging a gay guy in the water was totally okay back in the 80s. I didn't know that.
With those short shorts and everything.
Stop it, guys! You guys are making me a little too excited. Getting the vapors.
So what do we got next, Alex?
We got Ant-Man or Fantastic Four. Which one do you guys want to talk about first?
Let's get the horrible one out of the way.
So Fantastic Four?
Yeah. I think it has a chance to be a good movie, but I've always just hated Fantastic Four. So it's like, fuck you guys.
Yeah. Now, I know me and Jesse have talked about this trailer before, and we're both kind of on differing opinions of it. Jesse, what did you think of the trailer?
I think it's going to be cool. I think one thing is their visual effects were amazing right off the bat. You could just see they had production behind that. And then the music was on point, and that's one thing. I'm not trying to be a jerk or be like, hey, you could throw money, it could be great. No. Just, it has a different type of energy. And you see all these characters that are coming to alive in their different way, and now how you could see there was a different approach. When we had the original Fantastic Four that came back, we know with Jessica Alba and all them, it was just a processed burger. Here you go. We got this hottie. We got this guy. We're going to make it work. These guys actually look like these.
You don't see that in this? I definitely see a processed burger.
So
No
are they supposed
way.
to be like brother and sister still, or adopted, or they just separate the Torch and
I think
this
they've
woman?
said. I don't remember exactly.
I don't recall.
Yeah, I think they may be half or I don't remember exactly.
Well, I think with these characters, I think some of their personalities will really change the demographic inside this franchise.
Yeah, but I think that as far as going back to like the processed burger thing, like it definitely felt very processed to me. It felt like a trailer I had seen before, and not going back to the Fantastic Four in general. Like even just said, I'm not a huge Fantastic Four fan myself either, but it just didn't it didn't seem like something that needed to be rebooted. Like I don't know what I'm trying to say.
It's just a piece of shit that they're trying to make more money off of.
Well, no. Well, first of all, I don't understand why they need to have another origin story. Like,
Do you think they're going to try to revamp all this to like the multiverse and stuff like that going on and everything in the world?
no. Well, maybe. But it definitely seems like they're going to another dimension, because that's what the space shuttle... But it wasn't even... Like, it didn't even look like they were going into space. It looked like it kind of happened on Earth. And from the trailer, it looks like they kind of either went into a different dimension, and that's how they got their powers, or something like that. But what I'm saying is that I don't understand why these movies... And, like, Spider-Man's a prime example of that. Like, why did they need to make another origin story? Like, why do we need to... We already know where the Fantastic... Even, like, people in... Like, not just comic book people, but people in the mainstream, there's already been two movies, you know what I mean, of the Fantastic Four. And one was an origin story, how they got their powers, how they became a team. Like, why do we need that again?
But how long ago was that? Like 10, 12, 15 years ago?
4?
10, maybe?
So
That's total generation.
50 years ago, Serge is saying?
05?
Oh, 05. So, yeah, it was about
So, yeah.
10 years ago. You can speak, you know that, right? No? You can't speak? Okay.
Producer.
We're not talking about Arrow.
But you know what? That's the thing is there's a whole gap of a generation. If there was a baby born that day, he didn't see that. Now he's 10 and he's looking at cool stuff.
It's called a
And the new
rerun.
things nowadays are these pop culture icons that we're seeing through comics, on television, on
Right,
those cinemas.
But think back to, like, the 89 Batman. You know what's awesome about the 89 Batman? Do you remember an origin story in there?
Yeah.
No, there wasn't.
Mom and dad died.
There was 5 minutes of origin story.
It wasn't a whole movie
But
based
the
on
movie,
origin.
yeah,
Okay, I get
the
it.
movie starts off with Batman kicking ass, and then
not
he just
crying.
continues. Well, maybe it starts with the villains and stuff like that, but it's just him kicking ass. And even like the original Superman, there was like 5 minutes of there's this baby that came to Earth, and now he's kicking ass.
I was kicking ass.
But
Like you don't really. I mean, as far as especially with one that's already had one so recently. Like, is there, and especially if they're trying to, I heard that they're trying to make another Spider-Man. Like, if there's another Spider-Man in which Uncle Ben dies, I'm going to shoot myself in the face.
Hey, what if it's one of the other universes where Uncle Ben lives and Peter Parker
That would be cool.
turns out like
That'd
an
be something
asshole?
different.
Exactly.
But, like, I'm just tired of having the same, every movie, having to be an origin story. It bugs me. And especially, like, I understand it when you're doing stuff like, I'm sure that Shazam, when it comes out, is going to be an origin story, and
Shazam.
Aquaman and all that shit. And that's fine, because that's not characters that people know about. But when it comes to the Fantastic Four, everybody should pretty much know where they came from. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's just what I think.
I will say that I do like the fact that everyone's younger. Not everyone looks like they're in their 40s and 30s doing this for Fantastic Four. They look like, the 20s.
Yeah, I had a little bit of problem with that, especially with Mr. Fantastic, because he's supposed to be so smart and stuff like that. Like, he's supposed to be basically the genius of the Marvel Universe. But I mean, especially when you look around nowadays, and there's so many young kids, and not kids, but, like Nobel laureates and fucking doctors who are younger and younger, and, geniuses that are 18 years old, 19 years old. It kind of makes sense. So that them being all that young doesn't bother me all that much, but I don't know. Like I said, Fantastic Four has just never been my meat and potatoes, so.
Like, they need to have Ben Grimm shit rocks, literally, for me to be like, oh my gosh, this is a great movie. But I'm saying it might be good, though.
I mean, it has a lot of potential, I think. But from that trailer, like, there was nothing about that trailer that I was like, holy shit, I need to see this movie. Like, there's been a lot of other trailers, like the Avengers trailer, the Terminator trailer that I was like, or the Jurassic Park trailer that I was like, holy shit, I'm going to need to see that movie. You know what I mean? There was nothing in this one that I was like, well, damn.
Hot damn.
Hot damn. I've already bought my ticket. You know what I mean?
I can dig it.
I mean, I'm going to give it a try, see how it goes.
So then, speaking of movies that I haven't bought my ticket for, let's talk about Ant-Man. What'd you guys think?
I liked it. I like the graphics. They show Hank Pym separate from Ant-Man, isn't he, in this movie?
Yeah, well, from what I understand, I'm dealing with the Fantastic Four, I'm also not a huge Ant-Man fan, so I haven't been really paying attention. But as far as I've read, basically they're having Michael Douglas is playing Hank Pym, who may or may not have been Ant-Man previously, and then he's now bringing Scott, whatever his last name is, to be the new Ant-Man, basically Ant-Man number 2. Because, as you know, in many comic books, the mantle is passed down from, generation to generation. Different. So, basically, there will be 2 Ant-Mans and men.
Ant-Man.
So.
Yeah, I'm liking it. I'm not a big Ant-Man fan either. But, the graphics are looking good. He's flying on the fucking flying ant, which is pretty dope. It's going to show you. It looks like, he's going to get all microscopic. It's going to be like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids on crack.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be pretty good.
Wait. So, Michael Douglas and Paul Rudd in the same movie?
Yeah.
I'm fucking in it.
You watched the trailer, right?
I was there. I'm just saying. You know what? Those are 2 great actors.
They are 2 great
Oh,
actors.
yeah, they can both get it.
Like, even this is one thing I've never seen about Paul Rudd ever in my whole life. He's ripped up. He's pretty yoked for that character.
Yeah.
You see that where it's like, whoa, that motherfucker got some abs.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's in most Marvel contracts. So, like, if you're going to be doing this, you're going to have to
Unless you're a
get
blob.
yourself some abs. It's true.
And that's something I've never seen, and I don't know how serious he's going to get because I can't really recall, like, a serious kind of big A-list movie he's done.
Well, the only line he has in the trailer is a joke. At the end, where he's
You think they're just going to bank on his?
I don't think so, but I don't think he's going to be the straight man. I'm pretty sure he's going.
No, I think there's going to be a collection of both for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't see it. And the trailer was pretty, serious and stuff like that, except for the end. But I don't think it's going to. I mean, typically, the way Marvel does it, they're never super serious or super fun. I mean, they kind of find that middle ground in all of their movies between super serious and super funny. So yeah, but I thought it was okay. I just don't know. I don't know how visually, because like the trailer especially, a lot of it is them talking and stuff like that, and there's only a couple minutes of him actually being Ant-Man and showing kind of how that works. And I don't know how well they're gonna be able to translate what Ant-Man does from the page to the screen, because as far as like he shrinks down. Well, now he's an ant on the floor, and he has to take 2 days to walk across the ground to get somewhere else.
To get a potato chip.
Because he's tiny now. Like, that power always just seemed weird to me. Well, and when it comes to putting it on screen, I think it would be a little bit more weird.
They didn't show in the trailer, I don't remember, of him actually growing in size, because he does that as well.
Yeah, but I don't know because they're kind of focusing on him shrinking. I don't know if they're going to make him bigger than he actually is. They're probably not going to go into like Goliath or stuff like that. So
I think they hopefully should, because this movie about a shrinking man, it worked once, but I don't know if it worked twice.
yeah.
Spider-Man apparently worked twice that way.
Yeah, that's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
We'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
You got to play by ear because we only have a
It's
few.
pretty much what we said about all these trailers.
no, I know for a fact. Fast and Furious, I'm there.
Oh,
Yeah, we know you're there.
But yeah, like this was another one of those trailers, and it's an early trailer because they're still. I'm sure they'll bring out another one that'll have a lot more of his powers and stuff like that. But this was another one that I was just like, I can wait and see. We'll see how it goes. Terminator. Terminator was definitely one of my favorites.
I got 5 tickets bought already.
Terminator, like I said, was definitely one of my favorite trailers. As far as the action and visuals, definitely on par with the Fast and Furious and shit. As far as the visual effects and the actions goes, what'd you guys think?
Storyline's gonna be the shit. It's gonna be a revamping, totally.
Hell yeah! The way,
it's basically shitting on the first couple movies.
So,
yeah, but you know what? The last movie sucked.
Well, no, but I'm talking about specifically. It shits on
1 and 2.
First two.
Eddie Furlong.
Edward Furlong. What happened to him?
What was that? Crack. And the Crow.
I'm down for both.
The Crow.
No, that Hamilton chick. Like, what the fuck? Just because you're fucking the director doesn't mean you should get an A-list fucking starring right there. Because that was something I've always hated with the originals. Now we're gonna get somebody different, a little bit more chops. Something I would actually masturbate to.
Yeah, but those, especially to me, like those movies are high in nostalgic factor for me, and especially as fucked up as the storyline is between the two movies, like it always had a certain sense of continuity to it, and basically it's not even like they're saying that the first two movies are wrong, but what they're doing is they're saying we don't care about those first two movies, we're just going to throw them completely to the side and make a whole new version of what happened.
What they
was? Oh, good.
What other thing can you do besides that? I don't think you have a lot of exit strategies. Try to create something new.
Right, but doesn't that mean that you just let it die?
You can do that one, or you can do what everybody else has tried, and you had the piece of shit Christian Bale trying to do some shit, and it just doesn't fit. It doesn't
Yeah, but
work.
I think you can definitely go into the future. Like, the Salvation one, I agree, wasn't all that great, but that's not to say that you can't go into the future, into the time when they're fighting robots, and make a good movie out of that.
Oh, most definitely. But at the same time, like they said in the preview, or the trailer, whatever else it's called, everything that when Reese is like, "Yo, I'm here to save you," and she's like, "Everything's changed."
Right.
they got fucking the Liquid dude back. They got old Terminator and new Terminator.
T-800.
Yeah, that guy. Bro, we don't worry about labels here.
Well, that was one of the things that bothered me, is if you're getting Arnold, why couldn't you just get Patrick, fucking, what's his name, the guy who played the Liquid Terminator? That would be awesome.
Yeah, that would have been dope.
Well, see, even this one, like, you actually see the difference.
Yeah, like he threw his metal at him before he couldn't separate it.
Well, I think they're the same Terminators.
You think there'd be the Liquid 1000?
Oh, yeah.
The T-1000 straight up.
Pretty sure that's what it looked like to me.
I don't know. I don't know. For some reason, it gave me a different vibe. Like, it's
I just don't
hybrid.
think they could. I don't think they had the technology at the time to throw their fucking liquid at the.
Well, I remember when actually on part 2 when he actually goes for it.
Yeah.
And Edward Furlong fucking throws it off.
Right.
Here you go, and then it goes back to his foot. Like, that reminded me, but the simple fact that he can detach the stuff, throw it down, this and that, and for sure it could be the whole technology perspective for visual effects. But even with Arnold Schwarzenegger, where he's like, "I've been waiting for you," like him to destroy the other guy right there and then.
The other Arnold.
And there's another part where he's holding a baby, like a young kid. You see, it's T-800, it's Arnold holding a little girl with a missile. I have an idea that that's not in the time period they're fighting at that time. I think there's different loopholes that they've jumped in through time to try to protect Sarah and all this other stuff, and they're going to fill that in somewhere in there, which I think might be dope.
Yeah, no, like I said, I definitely think it's going to be good. Oh, I hope it's going to be good.
It's a fucking A+, sir.
Do you know what? The only way it's going to be A+, Edward Furlong pops in for a little cameo. You don't got to be John Connor. He can just be the crackhead on the corner.
Pretty sure he's dead, isn't he?
No, he's not dead.
But, what was I going to say? I think the visuals will be good, and I think the action will be great, but as far as the story, I'm not too sure about. And that'll be the thing to see where it goes, because, like I said, I'm not sure about them trying to revamp the whole thing and basically do away with everything else. So we'll see how that goes. If the story actually ends up making sense or anything. So
I'm in.
I'm in.
I'm definitely in to see it more than fucking Ant-Man and Fantastic Four, but
Even more than Fast 7?
way
more. Get off of that dick, man. 7 times in a row.
Was there any other shows we watched?
There is one.
Poltergeist. Did we talk about Poltergeist yet?
No, we haven't talked about. Well, there's 2 now.
What's the other one?
Ted 2.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the trailer's up.
That's one I think you might have missed, sir.
I might have missed it.
All right, well, let's talk about Poltergeist then. Just the other one who brought this one, so what do you think?
I think with the new Poltergeist, it has a lot of innuendos from the original franchise. I think it's dope when the little girl's screaming, or she's like, I don't feel right, or I feel funny, and then you just see her fly out in the back, kind of like they originally did on part 1. I think now with the priest actually being the person who has the education behind the Poltergeist and knowing how to go about it compared to a psychic group and all that other stuff they had, the paranormal investigators. The effects are dope. I think it looks really, really cool. It's a creative thing that we never really saw from the originals. And I think the powers behind it. You know, you got Raimi, whatever, everybody, the producer from The Grudge, all these different people from horror from then and now saying, let's do this franchise now. I'm like, you know what? We're going to have a little bit more shock value than the original, but I guarantee you it's going to look good. We saw what they did with Evil Dead. It was good. So I'm really optimistic to this one. Like, I'm like, you know what? I fucking terrified of real scary movies nowadays, but I'm going to go see this and shit myself that night.
Yeah, it looks watchable. Like, it's not like the old one where you're going to shit your pants when you're a kid, have bad dreams. This one looks like... I think this one might be a little funny for me.
I still do that now.
Yeah, it definitely looks like they've taken more of the genre how horror is moving now to where it's like, you know, creepy, scary. And I guess it's because Poltergeist really invented that kind of creepy, scary kind of vibe, but they've kind of revamped it. It's not that, you know, a slasher movie or anything anymore. It's more of the slow burn on like waiting for the scary part to come. So I think that was pretty cool. I'm not a huge horror fan, so.
Well, I think what was really cool, one thing that they classified right off the bat on this, the priest said, she's still in your home, she's just in a different dimension.
Right.
The original flicks, especially all those, they went to hell.
Yeah.
They went somewhere else. There's no classification. Now with just time, it's like, nope, she's a different dimension.
Right.
So she's right here. I think that's dope. I
Yeah.
want to see some of that.
It'll be good. I'm always a Sam Rockwell fan, so.
And it's really good having a priest actually be an educated dude where it's like, hey, I'm afraid of the world.
Yeah.
Or touching kids.
Is he a priest? Because they didn't mention that.
No, yeah, you actually see his collar.
Oh, dude.
He's wearing a collar when he's talking to him.
Yeah, he's trying to be fancy.
I actually like that dude. The guy who plays the priest. I can't think of his name, but like him in other movies, I really dig him as an actor. I think he does a really good job.
What was the last big one he did? I'm trying to think. No,
Yeah,
Braveheart.
I can't. He's always in like good shit, but he's always kind of
He's mostly the bad guy.
yeah, secondary or bad guy
Yeah.
character. But he always does a really good job. Like I'm a huge fan of his, even though, like I said, I can't remember his name at the moment. So. What do you want to say about Ted 2?
Honestly, it looks okay.
Yeah.
I'm not really. I've watched it quite a few times, and just everything like, hey, let's make Ted, you know, a citizen, all this other shit. It's just, I don't know.
Is that what the premise is? To make Ted a citizen?
Well, from what I got, like he wants to have a kid
Yeah.
or whatever with the
With this old lady.
yeah. So he has
And
to
they're
become
trying to
a
get married.
person or whatever.
So he has to become a citizen?
Yeah, he has to be as a human. And who is it? Morgan Freeman.
Well, the thing is, like Ted, like the original one, isn't going to have that much of a story. It's basically a string of jokes for an hour and a half.
Seth MacFarlane it for you.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. You don't really go into it looking for a story or anything like that. I mean, as far as it's just going to be, you know, another funny movie. You know, and like it had me cracking up. The preview was pretty hilarious. I thought it was funny anyway. I don't know about the story, like I said, but it was funny.
Oh, it's going to be for sure funny. We all remember that Ted 1 is really just jumped genres to a next level.
Yeah. But yeah. But I guess that wraps it up pretty much for the trailers that we all watched. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess that'll about do it for this issue. Like I said, we're gonna be changing some things up, getting some more formats of the show, bringing some new things in. Expanding a little bit into, as we have today, into a little bit more pop culture, into movies and TV that may or may not have to do with some comic books, but we'll definitely keep true to the comic book roots and talk about that a lot. So look forward to us in the future. Try and get one out on a weekly basis, coming out on Saturdays, and we'll see y'all later. Madrid
Later, guys.
and Jesse,
Signing off.
y'all have a good day.